Hey up troops, hey Littleton here again with another video, and you can probably tell I sound a little bit husky. I've just got back from the Montreal Major. I nearly said Manchester, and that was the last one. From the Montreal Major, voice has gone a little bit, but I feel fine. Just a little bit too much shouting for BDS to win, for him to bottle the final again. But anyway, we've got the Y9S4 Season 4 designer notes and some secret changes that I've got from Twitter from one of the devs, which isn't mentioned in this list. I'm sorry if you can't cope with the huskiness, but I've got to get this video out today. Sounds like he's just come back a little bit better, actually, so hopefully this sticks a little bit. So we're just going to whiz through the notes that a lot of people have already seen, but some of you might not have done. So, balancing matrix. Ash, there's going to be a lot of that, by the way. Ash is right up there, Ace is right up there, Buck and Dockerby are up there. Monty's win rate's sky high, but we'll come on to that a bit further down. Finker's win rate quite high. I think it's probably because the LMG is actually usable at the minute as well. Sen's win rate right down the bottom there. Again, we'll come on to a bit of that. It's pretty similar to what we saw mid-season. And again, on defense, Legion's gone up a little bit, but it's a little bit more sort of spread out on defense than like on attack. There's a lot of collection here. On defense, it's spread out a little bit more dispersed is the word I'm after. Interesting to see Legion up there though. This is PC obviously. Capcan win rate really high. Scopos win rate high, which is good to see actually. Clash low, Tachanka low, Sentry low. Where's Striker? Striker 0. Interesting. Ban rates. Ban rates, we've got Monty, Dokkaebi, Blitz, Jackal, Thatcher. Defense, we've got Fenrir still so high on PC, really? Excuse me, I had to sniff that. I hope that didn't come through the mic. I'm surprised. I haven't looked at this myself yet, by the way. I know what's in here, but I haven't actually read it fully. I'm surprised the Fenrir ban's so high. I feel like we don't really ban Fenrir that much anymore. I'm sure this used to be Emerald and above, by the way. But, okay, so we got the Blackbeard rework. For those of you that don't know, he now gets a shield. A little bit like Fuse and Blitz's shield. Slightly different shape. With a retracting sort of glass cover over the top of it that he can then put his gun over the top. So it's now called the where's it gone? It's got a name for it. Hull Shield, HULL Shield. It can repel shield. Blackbeard can change the shield shape to use it while repelling. You can run through soft walls with it. I'm going to do a full video on Blackbeard in the next day or two and show you how he now works. He's now a 3 armor, 1 speed. And it just shows you the some stats on the shield. There's not. I could talk about the stats for the shield, but you need to see it in action, and that'll be a video that comes over the next few days. You know what I'm going to do actually? I'm going to grab the new trailer for Blackbeard. I'm going to grab that there, bring that over here, and show you quickly whilst we're talking about it. So this is what he does now. You see that's the retractable shield there. So he starts off with like a normal shield, and then you see the glass at the top retracts and comes down. So that's what it does now. You can crouch and crouch over it. Bear in mind, there's still a lot of... I've played this already, and it's not overpowered. It's strong. It's not overpowered. There's still a lot to shoot at there. And you can see even there, you've got knees and toes. As he's moving, he's not quite as covered as Blitz and Fuse are. Still strong, don't get me wrong, but one thing to notice is... I'm not sure if it shows it in this video, the ADS time for him to bring that gun over the top of that sort of Perspex cover is a long time. The ADS time is a long time. You can lean, obviously, both sides. Hopefully they show him coming through the soft wall. That's the bit I want to show, because that's the unique bit. It's a bit like an Oryx dash through the soft wall. Yeah, there we go. So that's what it looks like from Blackbeard's perspective. And then from the defender perspective, who is an Echo, I think there, you can see he just breaches through the wall. Now, having played this, there is a concussion effect when you come through the wall, and you can't ADS for a long, well, I say a long time. It's like 2 or 3 seconds when you come through the wall. So you've got to make sure that when you're going through the wall, what's on the other side is safe. Otherwise, you're vulnerable. It is strong, but it's not overpowered. I assure you, it's not overpowered. So that's the changes to Blackbeard. And again, we'll do a video on Blackbeard in the coming days. Monty. So Monty has a guard break. Let me just check. Is the shield changing here? Ballistic shield, yeah. So we'll come back to Monty, but his changes is on the guard break system, which has changed anyway. So we need to read about the guard break system, then come back to Monty. Sense. This is a good change. This is a very, very good change. And I will also be doing a Sense video in the coming days as well. So in short, Sense now can throw ROU projectors and can turn them off. So you could throw it and not have them activated, press a button, and then the curtains go up, which is a really, really good change. So you can set lineups up and then activate them. It's going to be very, very good. I promise. And again, I've played this and it does work really well. It's still a little bit clunky when you throw the ROU, a little bit clunky. It doesn't always go where you want it to, but it is better than it was. And being able to turn them on and off at will is superb. Another thing to note for Sense as well, thermal gadgets that used to be able to see through the Sense wall can no longer see through the Sense wall. So like Warden's glasses, Maestro's evil eyes, and Glaz's thermal scope can no longer see through the wall. I think it'll probably mention that here. Yeah, we've enhanced the light walls to be resistant to thermal view devices such as Glaz, Warden, evil eyes, and bulletproof cameras. Which is good, because then it differentiates it to smoke grenades, which is a good point, because a lot of people would say, well, Sense is okay, but I would rather just use a smoke grenade. Well, now you've got a reason why Sense is better, because you can't be countered by Warden. Excuse me. So yeah, you can turn it on and off. It says they've reduced the number of projectors. So in a line, you used to get 10 mini walls of light to create one curtain. It's now shorter. So if you were to roll them in a straight line, they're now shorter than they used to be by 30%. And the battery only depletes on the projectors when the walls are turned on. So you have like a percentage, 100% percentage capacity or whatever you want to call it. That only depletes when you've got it on. So you can roll them on the floor, not turn them on, and they won't disappear until you turn them on, and then they start depleting. Thermal gadgets we've mentioned. This is a good change. Thunderbird. So the Kona Station will not only now provide a flat heal bonus, but also provide health over time. So it says here, you get, I'm sure you get a little bump to begin with. It doesn't say the numbers here, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 HP when you go past it initially, and then it goes up by 2 HP per second until you get to full health or until you take damage again. As a single station, however, this buff will disappear immediately upon taking damage or reaching full health. Yeah, correct. So once you've hit the Kona Station, you kind of don't want to go for a fight again. You want to just wait, get that health back, and then go again. If you go again straight away, even if you take 1 point of damage, it'll stop the heal going all the way to the top. And this is a big change. You've now got the ITA 12. Well, actually, it says the ITA 12. Is it not the ITA 6? Secondary weapons, ITA 12. Isn't the ITA 12 mirror shotgun? I'm just going to open another tab here. Siege ITA 12. Should probably do this again before I... Oh, no, I think... No, that is right. It says the ITA 12. I take it all back. So what's the ITA 6? Or have I just made that up? No, I've just made that up. So what's mirror... Wait. Mirror Siege. Bear with me. I know I'm doing this on another window. It's not great for production quality, but... What's mirrors? Okay, so I understand. It's the main shotgun is the ITA 12L. This is the ITA 12S. I don't know why I thought it was called the ITA 6, because it was like half the 12. I don't know. My bad. So yeah, you get a secondary shotgun. I think that makes Thunderbird usable, because having a shotgun as a roamer is incredibly important, and now being able to have someone who's shallow roaming, as in not a million miles away from sight, but not on sight. So you would be on a shallow roam. You might take damage in a gunfight. You can then drop back to sight, hit a Kona Station, wait whatever the time is, depending on how much damage you've taken, to get to full health, and then go out on the shallow roam again. And I think this is going to make Thunderbird useful. I probably think I would put Thunderbird at the moment in the bottom 3 defenders. This changes that for me, especially having that shotgun. Ying. So... Ying's Candela could be used in a couple of different ways, one of which was to charge the Candela up, and then when you throw it, it would go off immediately on contact with the first surface that it hits. That was almost impossible to counter, and you couldn't do anything about it. You know, even if a flashbang comes in, you see the icon come up, you can try and turn away, run away, whatever you want to do. When that Candela came in, if it was fully charged, there was nothing you could do. You had no time to react. That's now changed. Roughly, and there's a lot of numbers to get through here, but roughly, it's added around 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds onto the time that it takes for the Candela to go off. What that does is gives you a little bit more time to prepare, to react, to hide, to turn away, to protect your eyes, or to shoot the Candela if you're any good at aiming. I'm not, so I won't be doing that. But if you didn't know, you can shoot Candelas. I feel like my voice is coming back a little bit. Bear with me. Passion to the cause. So, yeah, in short, Ying now has roughly between 1.5 and 2 seconds added to the fuse time of the Candela. This is big as well. Stun grenades. You used to get 3 stun grenades. You now get 2. I mean, there's a lot of text there to basically tell you that you now get 2 stun grenades, but you only get 2 smokes. You now also only get 2 flashbangs or stun grenades, whatever you want to call it. It was a bit strong when you think about it, having 3 flashes just in your pocket. You could burn your own ADSs and still have a couple spare. I think this is a good change. I'm keen to see how this plays out, because you could still burn with one and you've still got another. So I think this is a good change, to be honest. I think firing 3 flashes in was probably a little bit much. I never thought about it before, but then now I've seen this and I'm like, you know what? 3 flashes was a lot. So this says people that are affected, everyone with flashes, basically. Nothing's changed. It's whoever had flashes originally. I feel like more people had flash grenades than that, but... Okay, so this is the big one. Ballistic shields. Again, I'm not going to read all of this out to you. And you know where the patch notes are, linked to the Twitter. I could even link the patch notes below if you want to read it all. But basically, shields were too strong. They've sort of admitted that, like the changes were too much. The big thing that they say in the reveal is you shouldn't be able to be lethal, as in you can get a kill, whilst almost being invincible or fully protected. If you want to go lethal, you also have to have the ability to receive lethal. I think Josh Mills said in the reveal, if you want to be able to dish out lethal, you have to be able to receive lethal, which is a really good way of putting it. So, you used to, as it is at the minute, if you hit someone with a shield, you do 65 damage. If you hit them with a shield again, you kill them or eliminate them. That was too much. So now when you hit someone with a shield, you don't do any damage. It means you've got to then bring out the pistol and ADS and kill them, which gives them a slight chance of not dying immediately. If you get hit by a shield, you're probably going to get ADS and killed anyway, but at least now there's more of a chance to fight back. Suppressive fire. Excuse me. Suppressive fire is now halved. Well, I say it's halved. The time it takes to initiate... I feel like my voice has come back. The time it takes to initiate suppressive fire has been halved. I feel like I've had 3 different tones of my voice throughout this video. So it used to take 10 bullets to initiate suppressive fire. Now only takes 5. And then to get the maximum effect of suppressive fire used to take 40. Now takes 20. So it's been reduced by 50% to initiate suppressive fire. And then to get to the maximum stage of suppressive fire. Suppressive fire means the shield can't sprint. And it means it's slowed down. I think it mentions in here... to address the... Yeah, so this is... I think it's 7 seconds. Additionally, we've adjusted the number of bullets needed to reach maximum intensity. Please note, higher caliber weapons will require fewer bullets. Okay. So I think you get... Once you get like a full... The full extent of suppressive fire, which is now 20 bullets, dependent on caliber, I think it means shields can't sprint for, I think it's 7 seconds. So, guard break. This is really, really good. And this mainly affects Monty. It used to be the situation where Monty would plant and then would stand in a corner or a doorway and you couldn't do anything. You would hit his shield, and then by the time you got your gun out to shoot his ankles, his shield would come back over his ankles and you wouldn't have time. Unless you got like a pixel, and even then you'd have to do it like 5 or 6 times in a row to kill him. Almost impossible. Unless the Monty made a misplay. That's now changed. Guard break is now consecutively increased each time you melee that shield. So, for example, once you hit Monty once, his shield will move 10% and then come back. When you hit him again, his shield will move 20% out the way and then come back. If you hit him again, his shield will go 30% out the way, revealing more of his body each time. Now, if he takes damage, the shield break or guard break then goes back to 0. So the question is, do you hit him 3 times to open that shield a little bit more, get some shots off, but then you have to start from 0 to open the shield up again? Or do you spend more time guard breaking 4 or 5 times so that the maximum guard break happens and he's more exposed? Obviously, you've got more chance of killing him that way, but you've got to hit him 4 or 5 times rather than 2 or 3 times. It's a question that it all depends on what's going. If the Monty's low health, you only need to open the shield a little bit to get 1 or 2 shots on a leg and he's down. If the Monty's full health, you're going to need to open that shield right up to get some shots off. It's a really good change. And it's going to mean Monty post plants are not just a given anymore. One thing that isn't mentioned here is the melee priority. So what I mean by that is when you 1v1 a shield, the shield will always win the melee. If you melee and the shield melee at the same time, or even if you melee and then the shield melees, the shield will always win that before. That's now not the case. Whoever melees in range first will win the melee fight, which is way better because you basically couldn't win against the shield before. Whereas now, whoever times the melee right first will win that melee fight. Excuse me. Coffee's coming back up. Well, not coming back up, as in I'm not going to throw up. Just going to, a little bit of wind. All right, calm down. Shotguns. This is another good change. In short, with the change of the laser sight going from tighter hip spread or tighter pellet spread now to ADS speed, shotguns needed addressing. And that's what they've done here. So in short, the ADS dispersion cone reduction and the hip fire dispersion cone reduction, meaning pallets are now tighter together on the following shotguns. So Mirror, Smoke and Mute, Jaeger and Bandit, Doc and Rook, FO12, is that Ella? And Sash G, not sure what that one is. But not all shotguns have been affected in the same way. No, the Sash G is Finker and Capcan, right? I think. You can see here that the M5901 has been on the receiving end of both buffs, which is wonderful for me who plays Mute more than anyone. But you can see the Supernova has got a hip fire dispersion cone reduction, but not an ADS dispersion cone reduction. So you've got to have a look at which shotguns have been buffed from hip fire standpoint and from an ADS standpoint. And there's also on the more automatic shotguns, there's been some recoil reductions as well. So shotguns are much better now across the board, especially the M870 and M5901 and the ITA-12 and the SGC-QB. And the Supernova was already unbelievable anyway. We've then got the rank distribution. It's what we normally see. You tend to see the first rank of the next rank up have more people in because they tend to get to that rank and then not play any more games. And you can, as it goes down, you can see. So what you need to do is add up your whatever. Let's just say you're in Emerald 1. Add up the numbers that lead up to Emerald 1, and you can see what percentage of the community you're in. You know, don't look at Emerald 2, see that it's 1.2% and think that you're in the 1.2% of the top 1.2%, because there's all the others here to add up as well. But it's an interesting graph nonetheless. Now, at the start of the video, I said some secret changes that weren't listed in these patch notes. Let's get on to that. This comes from NC Jack on Twitter, at NC Jack. Tremendous fella. He's one of the gameplay programmers, I think. I met him this week again. Wonderful human being. Really good guy. Loves Siege more than anyone I know. And that's another thing as well. I met a lot of devs whilst I was out in Montreal, and I tweeted this earlier on, at A Littleton on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And my tweet said, I think I said, I've met so many devs out in Montreal, and I mean what I'm about to say, and I'm not being paid to say this. I'm not a Ubisoft shill. I mean this, and I'm being dead honest when I say this. Every single dev that I met cares about Siege more than I can put into words, and I mean that. One, it's the job, and they want a job. And two, they want the game to succeed, and Ubisoft want the game to succeed. That team that they've got in Montreal is quality. And I'm not just saying that. I probably met and spoke to 20 to 25 different devs in different teams, gameplay programmers, operator designers, operator, I don't know what the right word is, but the guys who come up with the operators. And then the anti-cheat team. I met a lot of different devs from different teams, and they all live and breathe Siege, I promise you. So, the things that weren't in the patch notes, which is big, players will no longer to be able to stand on window ledges. And there was two big ones where this was a problem. There was one in Oregon on Small Tower where you could get a free spawn peek into the police barricade spawn. And there was another one on the theme park where you could stand on the security window and look both ways down the building. You can no longer stand on any window ledges, which is good. This is huge for those of you that play Habano. Habano's ex-Kairos palettes are now coming back to be the actual elite skin, not just red palettes. That's been a bug for ages, but that's changing this season. The Thermite bug, where it was mainly on Emerald Plains, is it like CEO balcony, whatever you want to call it? The single wall next, it's not CEO, is it? It's the next room along, maybe office. Does it say that? It just says front balcony. So I'm not sure what room that is in there, but the single breach wall that's just outside music hallway, that would not open with a thermite charge. That's now changed. This is big as well. People were sort of abusing Goyo canisters and as army shields, Kiba barriers. You could put a Kiba barrier down, put a Vulcan shield on, but if you destroyed the Kiba barrier as you were in the animation of putting the Goyo canister down, the Kiba barrier would break and the Goyo canister would just be hovering in the middle of the room as if it was on the Kiba barrier, but the Kiba barrier is not there anymore. So you could just have like a hovering Goyo canister that you could just shoot whenever you wanted. That's been fixed. That's big. You could, this was another fix here, you could put a drone in the wall on Consulate at the top of Yellow Stairs. That's been fixed. This is a big change here, and I think some people might not like this, but I do. So you used to be able to vault through a barricade by breaking part of the barricade on the frame. So you used to be able to shoot the barricade at the bottom and then punch the edge of the barricade twice. It didn't make any sound, and then you could jump out. That's now gone. You're going to have to make noise when you break a barricade, which I think is good because it was unfair for attackers that couldn't hear a barricade being broken. What? There was a bug where you could clip through walls using, like, if you put an OSA shield down and then you change the OSA shield and you put a barricade down and you sort of bobbed in and out the barricade, you could like rappel up in the building. That's gone. There was a bug as well with Capitão's smoke darts where you couldn't red ping an operator if they were in the smoke darts after the smoke dart had gone. This is another good one where Oryx could jump through a hatch even though he was in a different room downstairs. These are all sort of exploits in a way that people would abuse and take advantage of that have now been fixed. And you may never have seen any of these things happen, but a lot of them were causing problems, generally in higher ranks. So that's good. You get outlines in caster mode, and then the equipped weapon skin doesn't update to default if the current equipped weapon skin is sold on the marketplace. I mean, I didn't know about that one. But they're the hidden changes. This one especially, not being able to stand on window ledges, having the Elite X Kairos pallets back is nice, and also having to make sound when you're breaking through a barricade on a window is big. Right, so that is the secret changes. These are the main patch notes. There's a lot for me to do this week. We've got to make a new Sense video, got to make a Blackbeard video, and various other videos on the test server to look at what the changes are. Probably one about shields as well. So we've got a lot to get through. Hopefully my voice gets better. If you've made it this far through the video and I sound like this, then I apologize for sounding like this, but I take my hat off to you if you've made it this far through. I did start recording this a few times and was like, I can't record it. No one's going to listen to this, but I'm glad I have now because then at least it's out there. We're a few days late with this, by the way. I'm aware that the notes have been out for a while, but I only got back from Montreal like an hour and a half ago, said hello to the kids. It snowed, by the way, in the UK today in November. I can't remember the last time that happened. Been out and built a snowman outside, so done all that sort of stuff. Then we get on with back to the content grind. So thanks as always for getting involved with the channel. Blackbeard video, Sense video will be coming soon. Appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that other stuff that helps me out. And as always, thanks for getting involved. I'll see you next time. Cheers.